Continuing our talks here on common hitting flaws, today we're going to wrap up the last section of our area of the gather, our first move. We're going to talk about front leg connection in relation to the middle of the body. Front leg disconnection happens when a player allows his front side to drift away from the middle of his body. When body parts get away from the center, athletes will often have a harder time controlling these distal parts. Maintaining front leg connection allows hitters to create and store energy more efficiently, have more control over their forward move, and improve the likelihood that hitters will transfer energy up the chain. So you can see in this picture on the right here, we want to talk to our hitters about being in an athletic position as much as possible. And when we get that front leg disconnected from the middle, you can see that it puts us in an unathletic position here where our pelvis is tilted backwards. We're stacked too much over that backside, and this hitter's going to have a hard time controlling his forward move from here based on his posture in the gather. Some characteristics you'll see here for disconnection of the front leg. You're going to see that front foot tracking well ahead of the knee in hitters that have this issue. If you look at the visual on the right here, you're going to see Miguel Cabrera doing a really good job of staying connected to the middle of his body in his gather and then beginning to stretch the elastic, as we like to say here, in his forward move. A lot of guys who are disconnected, you're going to see them lift their front foot before they get into their backside. We want to see the backside coil a little bit before that front foot lifts to help with our posture and maintain control over that front side. You'll see that front knee get really far away from the middle of the body in players who lose connection with their front side as well. Some common results we see, a lot of these hitters will have difficulty handling velocity, especially up in the zone. This causes a lot of backwards tilt with the shoulders and pelvis, which leads to steep uphill swings. We also get guys who do the opposite. They'll drift excessively forward because of the lack of control. And what happens is we get a really steep bat path and a high ground ball rate from players swinging down on the ball when they drift forward towards the pitcher out of control. We also have a lot of guys struggle to make timing adjustments. A lot of guys who cannot control the front leg when they lift it. Their body wants to just go forward and they're committed to the pitch and can really only hit one speed in one spot. Some common compensations we see physically here with disconnection. You'll see some really excessive backwards pelvic tilt from hitters who get disconnected with the front leg. Again, on the opposite side of that spectrum, you'll see guys that the pelvis drifts forward and out of control, and they are unable to hit the brakes, which is the point in the swing where we transfer energy from the ground up, going from linear energy into rotational. I see a nice visual here on the video of what we look for a disconnected front leg. You see the hitter on the left, his front knee is well away from the middle of his body, his front foot tracking well ahead of his front knee. Again, when distal body parts get away from the center, it's very hard to control them. You'll see this hitter's pelvis is tilted backwards due to the disconnection from that front side, and he's excessively stacked over his front leg. The hitter on the right does a good job of keeping his front side connected. His knee comes into his body first. Again, his front foot is relatively connected to the knee. So he's going to have a lot of control over this forward move here, which is key as guys get older and see different types of pitches. Lastly, here are drills for disconnection. I would say knob to knee is probably your go-to, where the first move of the swing forces the hitter to get into that coil and bring his leg into his body. A lot of times with hitters, we'll do this drill and slowly blend it back to their normal swing, where we're bringing the knob and the knee less and less close together with each rep, trying to make it feel more like a normal swing. Again, a lot of our guys who lose control of that front leg will drift forward and end up crashing through the front leg, not transferring energy efficiently. So for a lot of disconnected front leg guys, we're going to give them uphill swings, and they're going to feel what it's like to rotate into a firm front side, which is what we want to feel as a hitter. And then lastly, hook'ems. We use this drill for a lot of different things here, but for hook'ems, basically that front leg, when it's hooked around the back one, is already connected to the middle of the body. So the hitter's going to feel the sensation of having body parts start from the middle and then work further away as they get into their stride phase. That is it for the gather. We are moving on to some hitting faults we see in the forward move next. Thanks, everyone.